All right, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah by Shem Yahushua today. Look at that, Isaiah 27:1. Run it down, make it quick. It say, in that day Yahuwah with a sore and great and strong sword shall punish the Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. He shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. And that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. I, Yahuwah, do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it. I will keep it night and day. Fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I will go through them. I will burn them together. So we're going to look at these verses and we're going to see what this means. See, we mentioned it the first time, but we didn't really go all the way through it. But we're going to look at this word for Leviathan when this phone cooperate to pull up the word that we desire to look at. Now you got to remember, he say in that day, he say Yahuwah with a sore and great and strong sword. So I'm going to look at sword first. And it means hard, cruel. The word is kashe. Hard, cruel, severe, obstinate, rigorous of battle. Go sit down. It's going to be a strong sword. Hello?
Shalom.
Shalom. So we look at Leviathan, right? It's a sea monster or a dragon. So we already know that this is that serpent. You know, we looked at Leviathan in other places, but we're going to hold this Isaiah 27 and look at Leviathan in Job 40. We've looked at Leviathan before and know it's referring to Hamashiach in some instances, but he say he's going to punish this Leviathan, this piercing serpent. Let's think you swing over there to Job 40 and about 11. I'm going to look at piercing, right? And it's fleeing or fugitive or crooked. So we're going to look at all this here to understand. So we're in Isaiah 27, or what this is talking about. And we're looking at verse 1 specifically. So we know this is a crooked serpent, and he's going to slay him in the sea. But let's look at something in Job 40. We see something in Job 40 about this dude. And we're just going to run this down. Try to make it as quick and brief as possible. My apologies, that should be Job 41. Let's look at Job 40. Job 41 and 1. What, that Leviathan?
Nah, that's Job 40.
Oh, yeah. That was wrong chapter. Job 41 and 1. He said, can thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou let down? Can thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Now sit back and look at it, what he said right there. He said, can you be able to draw him out with a hook? Let's sit back and look at what it means. This little boy in here hollering. He always hollering. He want somebody to give him a snack. Nobody won't give him a snack. We look at hook. And it's a fastened in jaw, a hook, or an angle, right? Now we know how that pertains to Mashiach, but we're looking at something real specific as it pertains to Satan in this instance. When we look at this thorn, it's a thorn, a briar, a thorn bush, or a thicket. Now, of course, we know they put a thorn on the master's head. I want you to sit back and I want you to look at something here in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it should be 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And let me see what it says. Because he said, how you going to be able to draw him out with a hook? How you going to be able to pull Satan out? So we're going to have to see how we're going to be able to pull Satan out. Because we also got to tie these thorns into something that's in 2 Samuel chapter 12 and something else that was mentioned in Isaiah 27. When he say briars and thorns are against him in battle, he say fury is not in me. And we're going to see what it means when he say fury is not in him. But at the same token, he said he's going to turn around and he's going to burn him up at the same token. So we got to see what he's actually trying to convey and express to us at this particular time. When we look at 2 Corinthians chapter 12, about verse 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, about verse 7. And unless I should be exalted above measure, through the abundance of the revelation there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Hashatan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the master thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my favor is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly thereof, therefore, will I rather esteem in my infirmities that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Now he just sat back and said, how will we be able to draw out Leviathan with the hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou let down? So let's look at something in John chapter 13, if I'm not mistaken. Because he say, I got to have a thorn in my flesh. Somebody to buffet me lest I be exalted above measure. So we have to look at the thorn that was in the master's flesh, lest he be exalted above measure a little bit for a time. Because there was a little thorn in the flesh. His name was Judas. See, sometimes the Most High leaves somebody wicked around you, man, just to keep you on point. Don't you? So you don't elevate yourself too high than you ought to. 13:1 of John, I should say. This little boy here. That little boy done got wide in his old age. Now therefore, before the feast of Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And the supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, that he was come from Elohim and went to Elohim. He rose from the supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. And after that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. So you sit back and you see this here, right? There's that thorn. See, Judas is that thorn. He said, how are we going to be able to draw out Leviathan in his tongue with a hook? Well, let's turn around, because we have to sit back and show you how Satan is in Judas right now. We have to show you how the master was able to draw him out. Because he said, I got to pierce this serpent, this crooked serpent. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it's coming to my mind thinking about Genesis 49, when he said Dan would count himself as one of the children of Yasharal, but he said he was a serpent, by the way. An adder that bite at the heel. You know, Judas was a serpent in the way. He was the devil. He's this Leviathan right here. You got to see how we got to draw him out with a hook. Let's see how the master drew him out with a hook in John 13. Let's see how he just drew him out with a hook, verse 21. Let's just see how he drew this nigga out. Because he drew him out now. But we got to see how he drew him out. How did he go about drawing him out? Because he said, in that day, Yahuwah with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. He shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. So we got to turn around and see how he going to slay this dragon in the sea and what the sea is. See, last time we talked about it, but we didn't really precept it. So this time, we're going to precept it. He said, when Yahushua had thus said, he was troubled in Ruach and testified and said, truly, truly, I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked to one another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on Yahushua's bosom one of his disciples whom Yahushua loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on Yahushua's breast said unto him, Master, who is it? Yahushua answered, He it is, to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. After the sop, Hashatan entered into him. Then said Yahushua unto him, that thou do quickly. Remember, I think it's Matthew. He said, is it me? He said, you say it. So see, when we turn around and we look at Job 41, right? Let me pull my page over here with in this other book that I've got open with me right now. Y'all just bear with me. When we turn around and we look at that, how did he draw out Leviathan with his hook or his tongue with the cord, which is let down? Can thou put a hook into his nose or bore his jaw through with a thorn? He said, how are you going to be able to do this? How are you going to be able to do this? All the master did was just tell him, dip this sock, man. Dip this sock. He said, one of you betrayed me. He said, is it me? Put the hook right in his jaw to turn him around to go do what he had to go do. He exposed himself. See, now we sit back and look at it now. Of course, we know Judas killed himself. But Yeshayahu 27 say in that day, a great and strong sword is going to punish this serpent. Let's look at Matthew 25 and about 36. And after we look at Matthew 25 and 36, because we also said in that day, sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. So we're going to need to look at Revelation chapter 14 and about verse 14 and Revelation chapter 19 and about verse 11. But we will begin in Matthew 25 and verse 36. Switch books, switch books, switch books. 25, 36. Actually, 34 is better. And then we'll drop down to 41 and get straight to the point. Then shall the king, matter of fact, make it 31. Let's make it a little better. When the Son of Man shall come in his esteem, and all the Kadesh Malachim with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his esteem. And before him shall be gathered all nations, that he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided sheep from the goat. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do y'all know in the law where that's at? Not him sitting on the throne, but him dividing all nations like a shepherd separate the sheep from the goats. That's in the law. It might not be what you think it is, but that's in the law though. Hello? Hello? Any of y'all got any idea what that is in the law? That he'll separate all nations one from another? That one there that is correct. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't what I was looking for, but that is correct. You know what I'm saying?
Or him separating us as a nation coming out of this ring.
Absolutely. Remember how he told them, don't touch that land, I gave it to Edom, right? Or don't touch that land, that's Moab's, right? That's the separating the sheep from the goats. That's their land, that's their land, that's their land, that's their land. You separate from all them. Both of those answers were correct. Tower of Babel, absolutely. Because he separated the nation, separated the sheep from the goat. The reason why I was looking for the one with us coming up out of Mizraim in the separation, because that's literally us becoming his flock. See, we hadn't became his flock yet in Babel, but yet he still separated the sheep from the goats at that time. Verse 33, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye Baruch of my Abba, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. So the right hand, that's why I mentioned that when we sit back and we look at us coming up out of Mizraim, he set those on his right hand, or the sheep of his flock, or the sheep of his pasture. They came into the land or entered into the kingdom that was already prepared for them. See, them coming up out of Mizraim is a foreshadowing of what's going to happen. The only difference where you sit back and you look at it, and there was a valley, I'm sorry, I got my page gone. I don't want to make quote the man. But again, that's why it's imperative to know the law. That's why it's imperative to search the scriptures. That's why it's imperative to pay attention. That's why it's imperative to read. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at 27, he's saying, that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. When you turn around and you look at it, them being drowned, even though there was not literal blood shed, there was a vineyard of red wine with Pharaoh when they were coming to assault you, coming up out of Mizraim, coming to kill you. And then he killed them and executed his wrath and brought you into the kingdom, a foreshadowing of what would happen at the master's return. Because I got to slay this serpent. You know what I'm saying? I have to slay him. He's a crooked bastard, and I got to kill him. We at verse 41, Matthew 25. Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart ye from me, cursed into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his Malachim. Now, I put this up here yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and hit it right now. Hold this right here and go to Numbers chapter 35. He said, go ahead and take this serpent out. We got to show how this serpent got to be taken out. He said, with a strong piercing sword. So we hold in Revelation 14 to Revelation 19. But he said he going to punish him, that crooked serpent, with a sore and great and strong sword. And in that day, you going to sing about that vineyard of red wine. You going to sing about it. And we have to sit back and we have to look at something. We have to make an assessment just according to the word. That's all we got to do, just according to the word. We look at Numbers 35. Verse 31. Verse 31. Matter of fact, verse 30. Numbers 35 and verse 30. Numbers 35 and verse 30. And it says, whoso kill any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. So let's turn around and look at it, because y'all know what was in the post, and I'm going to do it a little different. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Hold number 35. And let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Hello?
Yes, Stanley.
What's up, little bro? Genesis chapter 2. Verse 17. This man say, not out of the mouth of one witness will you die, but out the mouth of two witnesses. That's what he said right here in Numbers 35 and 30. One witness shall not testify against any person that calls him to die. So we need to sit back this here. And you can get Galatians chapter 1 behind the Genesis. We're going to get Genesis 2, then we're going to go to Genesis 3, and then we're going to go to Galatians 1. Still holding Numbers 35, Revelation 14, and Revelation 19. Just keep those three on deck. But we finna run Genesis 2, 3, and Galatians 1 off this key point. And then come back. Genesis 2 and 15. I'm sorry, 2 and 17. Well, we'll do 2 and 15. That's fine. And Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou may freely eat. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eat thereof thou shalt surely die. That is one witness. So you can't put a murderer to death without two or three witnesses. He said not all one witness. Let's see the next witness in Genesis chapter 3. Let's see the next witness. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. For Elohim doth know in that day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. There's another witness. So if you look at it in this aspect, knowing that Eve is the mother of us all, and Galatians chapter 4 and about verse 26 say Jerusalem is the mother of us all, as the correlation, the similitude to that, and you see Abba Yahuwah by way of the master saying that if you eat this, you die, that Shamahim and the rats are the two witnesses. Elohim being Shamahim, because there's three that bear record of Shamahim. Elohim, the word, and the Ruach. So when you see Elohim saying, you'll eat of this, you die, that's Shamahim bearing witness. When you see this woman saying, Elohim have said, if we eat of this, we'll die, that's a rat's bearing witness, and there are your two witnesses. Now let's look at verse 14 of this very same chapter. Make it 13. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? The woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahuwah said, Elohim said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So the serpent is cursed. We just read in Matthew 25 that if you are, he said, you are prepared, the cursed are prepared for everlasting fire with the devil and his malachim. So he's damned. So we already seeing what was able to get the serpent damned. With his strong sword would go through him is because those two witnesses show forth that he was a murderer. Now let's come on around here and let's look at Galatians chapter 1. 1 and 9. 1 and 9. Galatians 1 and 9. Make it 1 and 7. Make it 1 and 6. Galatians 1 and 6. Galatians 1 and 6. I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the favor of Mashiach unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Mashiach. That's just what you seen the serpent did. He perverts, he calls that preaching that he gave to that woman to be corrupted. And it calls her to go after another gospel. That's why you got to be careful out here. There are people that have you go after other preaching, other teaching. People feel like, oh, it's more than one way. You know, I talked to a black woman the other day. I gave a ride to, man. And she told me she was pretty much an atheist. And I've been seeing that a lot. It's amazing these days and times to see so many black people that are atheists. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing to me. Like, niggas usually believe in something. These niggas don't believe in nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Like nothing. Just talk greasy about the word too. And it's just a lack of understanding. But it's because somebody done came in with another gospel and pulled them away. He said, but though we are Malachim from Shamahim preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached, unto you let him be accursed. As we have said, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed. For do I now persuade men of Elohim, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Mashiach. And I stand on that there, what Paul said. If a man come preaching another gospel than the one you receive, let him burn in hell. He is a murderer. He is a murderer. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell an individual that to their face. Oh, see, that's religion and that's brain. You can take it how you want to take. You say what you want to say. But we know this book say. You come trying to pervert the gospel of Mashiach to call me to go after some other preacher, just like the serpent was damned and cursed in Genesis chapter 3 for being a murderer. I hope you die and go to hell. Let you be accursed. That's what the book say. I don't care if you don't believe it. I don't care if you don't follow it. What I care for? Come on back to Numbers chapter 35. Everybody worrying about what other people feel, what they, man, screw how they feel and what they think. If you believe the word of Yahuwah, what you care for? Book say what it say. They are a murderer. They are the seed of the serpent. They are a murderer. Don't you know everybody that's a child of the devil is a murderer? They are murderers. They are murderers. And they can put that in their pipe and smoke it. They are murderers. Let that sink into your head. They're trying to kill your soul, man. They murderers. They killers. 35 and 30. Whoso kill any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Moreover, you shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. He said, don't take no satisfaction in the life of a murderer. Look at 2 Chronicles chapter 19, verse 1. We good in number 35. We still got Isaiah 27, Revelation 14 and 19 on deck. But we're going to look at this 2 Chronicles 19. And then look at this John chapter 8, verse 39. He said, don't you take no satisfaction in no life of no murder. How you going to take satisfaction in, and we're going to get Romans chapter 1 too. How you going to take satisfaction? You breaking the law. You do that, you breaking the law. 2 Chronicles 19 and 1. I see people around here talking about calling me Yahweh Allah, Yahuwah Allah. That's crazy. It's crazy to me, man. Stuff is crazy, man. And Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehuda, returned into his house in Shalom to Jerusalem. Jehu, the son of Hanai, the seer, went out to meet him and said, Malik Jehoshaphat, should thou help the ungodly and love them that hate Yahuwah? Therefore is wrath upon thee from before Yahuwah. He said, though hand be joined hand in hand, they will not go unpunished. That man say, how you going to love them that hate Yahuwah? How you going to love a murderer? You're taking satisfaction in murderers. How can you do this? This is what he's saying. How is this possible? John 8 and 39. John 8 and 39. And they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I heard of Elohim. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. They said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even Elohim. Yahushua said unto them, if Elohim were your father, you would love me. For I proceed forth and came from Elohim, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. See, you say back and you look at it, right? When the devil jumped in Judas Iscariot's heart, they betrayed the master. You know why? Because it said that Judas Iscariot was a thief, which means he was covetous. See, that's what Satan is. He was covetous of the things of man. He was envious of man. He didn't want to be a servant unto man. He coveted that worship, that fame. That's what he wanted. That's why he came to the master and said, I'll give you all this if you worship me. That's what he desired. See, Judas was covetous for them 30 pieces of silver. Sold the master out for some petty change. For some petty change. You know what I'm saying? Most people lose their soul over petty stuff. You could have got way much more from Yahuwah if you just waited. You lost your soul for some petty change. You know what I'm saying? Oh, poor, pity, hustling nigga. That's how a lot of niggas fall, pole hustling, man. Trying to always get over for a little bit of nothing because you couldn't wait. You have of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak a lie, he speak of his own. For he is a liar, and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. So you ain't supposed to take no satisfaction in no murder. Let's look at Romans 1 and 28. You ain't supposed to take no satisfaction in no murder. You ain't supposed to do that. That's why he said, I got to bring this sword and great and strong sword that go punish this serpent. That's why he said, yeah, you go ahead in the everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and Malachi and them on my left hand. Because, boy, y'all got to get from around me. He said, y'all took satisfaction in the murder. Y'all was out there screaming, we want Barabbas, showing forth you the seed of those that killed the master. You they children. You they byproduct. Showing back the same way you led that rebellion, showing forth you the seed of Korah. Showing back you they children. Because that's what Korah did. He showed he was the son of Satan. He wanted to rebel. One and 28 Romans. And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Elohim. See, Satan hates what's right. See, he told you in Psalm 97 to love that which is good and hate evil. See, Satan loved evil and hate that which is good. That's why the master said, if you were Elohim, you would love me. So since they didn't love him, they hated him, showing forth that they were the children of the devil, showing forth they are murderers because they take satisfaction in murders. The law say don't take no satisfaction in no murder. So we can't be taking satisfaction in Satan nor his children. Matter of fact, before we keep on going, let me look up that Hebrew word for satisfaction in this particular verse so we can get a clear understanding of what that means in our language versus what these white folks say. Instead of this bastard language that we currently speak. When we turn around and we look at it, it says that the word for satisfaction is kofir. And it's a price of life, a ransom, or a bribe, asphalt, or pitch. So when we look at a price of a life and a ransom of a bride, we already know who that is. Because they bribed Judah with them 30 pieces of silver for that petty chain. Even Balaam. Matter of fact, hold it here and look at, I think, 2 Peter chapter 2. Balaam did the same thing, and we're looking at the Epistle of Jude. That's what you're sitting back looking at. We look at the things that the devil can offer. We look at Matthew chapter 4 with that. So that's what it means to take satisfaction in the murder. You take a value in the bribe or the things that he has to offer, the things of this life, the things of this world that's going to cost you your life. You ain't supposed to take satisfaction in that. You ain't supposed to take satisfaction in the things the devil got to offer. Stay right there. What we were reading for that? Romans 1, this whole Romans 1. That's 2 Peter chapter 2. What is it about verse 19? Thank y'all for the word. 2 Peter chapter 2 about verse 19. If I was in 2 Peter chapter 2, maybe we could make something happen. 2 Peter chapter 2 about verse 19. 2 Peter chapter 2 about verse 13. We'll look at about verse 12. 2 Peter chapter 2 about verse 12. What you doing here over there?
Something like that.
You know what you're doing?
No, I'm just taking that.
Okay, I thought you've been around here practicing.
No, not at all. Just taking it out.
One day you might as well go ahead and get your hands dirty. I'm glad I ain't got no daughters there. If I had to do their hair, boy, they gonna be looking like Ragged Ann and Andy, boy. They gonna be scarred. They gonna have nothing but an afro. Daddy ain't combing it or nothing. Straight up. Where your mama at? He say, but these as natural brute beasts may be taken and destroyed. Speak evil of the things they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. That's what happened with Hashatan. He perished in his own corruption. What you think will happen to you? And they shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. There go Judas. He took satisfaction in the murder. He wanted that petty change. He wanted the things that the wicked had to offer. Having eyes full of adultery, they cannot cease from sin. See, you got an eye full of adultery, you got eyes full of lust, you can't stop sinning. Somebody brother posted that it's impossible to live a life and not sin. It's possible when you get the lust out of your heart, the desire to go after your flesh and do what you want. That's when it becomes possible. But as long as your eyes are full of desires, you'll never stop. Because the book tells you, say, the hell is not satisfied, neither are men satisfied. The desire of man ain't never quenched. Why the grave ain't never satisfied. Having eyes full of adultery, they cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls. On heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. Just what we read in the Torah. He came to Eve say, he beguiled me, an unstable soul. Easily beguiled, covetous practice, because she seen that it was good for food and nice to the eyes. That's why you can't have satisfaction in the murder with that bribe. He bribed her with, you'll be as God, you know good and evil. He bribed her with it. She took satisfaction in that. She co-fought on that. I want that. I want that. That's how he get you. That's how he get you. Let me flash in front of your face what you want, what you like, and you're going to burn in hell for it because you took satisfaction in it. Because you wanted that bribe. You wanted that ransom. You wanted them riches. Listen what he say, which have forsaken the right way and gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. He said riches that's gotten by wrong ain't no nothing. Let me see something. Is that Jeremiah chapter 17? Let me look at Jeremiah 17 real fast. Just hold what y'all got. Let me see what Jeremiah 17 says. Don't just give me this 1 second. Let me see if that's what I want, what I'm thinking about. Before I even tell y'all to go around. Let me make sure that's what I want. Thank y'all for the word. Jeremiah indeed. Jeremiah 17 and 11. Jeremiah 17 and 11. Boy, the word is right and the word is good. Regardless of what any man say out of his mouth, the word is right and the word is good. Make it verse 10. Make it verse 9. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, YAHUAH, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge sit on eggs and hatch them not, so he that get riches and not by right, and leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. Come on back round there to the 2 Peter now. That man said the end gonna be a fool. The end of you is going to be a fool. That's what the end with Balaam was. He ended up being a fool. I'm going to read verse 15 again in 2 Peter chapter 2. Which have forsaken the right way and gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, but was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass, speaking with a man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophet. See, and you sit back and look at it. You end up getting rebuked for your iniquity, but some people just don't listen. See, you just sit back and look at something. You can get the things you want, but you're not getting them right. So that's lawlessness. You took satisfaction in a murderer. You took satisfaction in the devil because of what he could give you. That's sour. Epistle of Jude. After that, 1 John 2 and 15. Thank y'all for the word. Now you can see why he got to sit back and slay this serpent with his great sword and make a valley of a vineyard of red wine. Said he'll water it every moment. He say, fury is not in me. Who set the briars and thorns against me? I will go through them and burn them together. He said, I'm going to burn them together. I ain't going to go too long this evening. I ain't going to go too long. We just going to hit it and go. Epistle of Jude. Verse 8. Epistle of Jude, verse 8. Epistle of Jude, verse 8. Thank YAHUAH for the word. Epistle of Jude, verse 8. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. See, when we say filthy dreamers, when we look at filthy dreamers, this should make mention of what is in the law in Deuteronomy 13. That if a dreamer dreams a dream and give a vision and it's not of Yahuwah, then he has a perverse and corrupt vision. Just like he said in Jeremiah 23, they dream dreams, but it's not a dream, that it's not a vision that cometh from me. He that have my word, let him speak my word faithfully. You know what I'm telling you? See, Satan came with a filthy dream, a filthy bribe, a filthy rant. Every time Satan comes, he's always coming with a way to lift you up with something that you desire. A ransom or a bribe to get you to go against the word for you to fulfill your covetous lust. That's why he say a covetous man is an idolater. This is why he say that. Because you worship your own desires. When you serve Satan, you co-far in a murder. You take satisfaction in the murder. We cannot go out like that. We cannot desire the wages of unrighteousness. Because then Yahuwah is not going to take no satisfaction in you. And when he say despise dominion, mean you despise his authority. You don't want to be under his rule. You know, there's a lot of people like that. They don't want to do what Yahuwah say. Likewise, yet Mikael the Archmalakim, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, Yahuwah rebuke thee. But these speak evil of those things which they know not. But what they know naturally is brute beasts, and those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain. We know the way of Cain. Cain hated the righteous because the righteous works were good, and his were not. He say, if you do well, you'll be accepted. If not, sin lie at the door, and desire going to be to that. That would end up be messing everybody up. Their desire is to sin. Your desire is to sin. Again, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah. Again, running after the rewards of unrighteousness. That's what's going to get a lot of people done in every time, because he say, look at Psalms 37 before I look at 1 John 2:15. Just look at the warning that he gave you. Just look at Psalms 37. Even Solomon told you to not envy the wicked, nor none that they got. Don't envy your oppressor and choose none of his ways. Psalms 37:1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in Yahuwah and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and truly thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in Yahuwah, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto Yahuwah, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Y'all know when you got your judgment at the noonday. Rest in Yahuwah and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prosper in his way, because of the man who bring wicked devices to pass. You don't need to get caught up and be worried about what these wicked people get. You ain't got to be worried about what these wicked people get. They gonna get it in, they get it by wrong. 1 John 2:15, then Matthew 4. First John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of Abba is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world pass away in the lust thereof, but he that do the will of Elohim abide forever. See, them desires and that lust for the things that the wicked got, and chasing after them reward, will get you in trouble. You know, this is saying that people always say, man, all money ain't good money. And everything that glitter ain't gold. And everything that look good ain't good. Sometimes you can see some fruit on the outside. It look beautiful till you bite it. You ever seen some fruit look good on the outside? And then you took a bit and it was rotten on the inside one. And you be hot as all outdoors, like this rotten little bastard here. And that's what happened when you fool with Satan and the things that the wicked had to offer. It looked good, but it's rotten on the inside. It's rotten on the inside. You turn around and be like, well, I wish I ain't bite that apple. I wish I ain't get that melon. That's how you go to looking. That's what's going to happen when you go after and you take satisfaction in the murder. That's what happens. Matthew chapter 4. Now, we running all this down to see why he got to bring this sword down. This is how Hashatan turns around to be able to pull the righteous down, to try to pull people down by attacking what you desire to get you to kofar or to take that ransom or that bribe or to take satisfaction in the wages of unrighteousness, that you can get the things that you want, but you're not getting them by right. You know what I'm saying? We still holding Romans chapter 1 too. I'm going to finish it. Matthew 4 and about verse 3. Thank y'all for the word. Praise y'all for the word. Matthew 4 and 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Elohim, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out the mouth of Elohim. Then the devil take him up into a Kadesh city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. And saith unto him, if thou be the son of Elohim, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his Malachim charge concerning thee. And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. YAHUAH said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt YAHUAH thy Elohim. Again the devil take him up into an exceeding high mountain, and show him all the kingdoms of the world and the esteem of them. And he said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou fall down and worship me. Then saith YAHUAH unto him, get thee hence, Hashatan, for it is written, thou shalt worship YAHUAH thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve. Go to Luke real fast, because I want to read this thing that it says in that account that he said to the master here. Come over here to Luke real fast. Come over to Luke chapter 4 real fast. Luke 4 and 5. Now he showed him right this here. He basically was showing the master all the things that he could receive. All these wages. But the master wouldn't have gotten it by right because he would have served another power. See, the master was able to attain all these things, but he attained them by doing what was right. According to Yahuwah's word. See, you can get all the desires of thine heart in the time that seem fit to Yahuwah if you do what's right. So you can get the things that you want and you can attain them by doing wrong, but it will be perishable. Because as it said in Jeremiah, in the end, you're going to be a fool. And the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the esteem of them, for it is that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. So this is why he has the ransom or the bribe. This is why the law is telling you, don't take no kofar in a murderer. No satisfaction. Don't take the bribe. See, you were trying to bribe this man. You don't never read nowhere where Yahuwah try to bribe you with worship. Satan try to bribe you to get you to do what he wants you to do. He doesn't make a promise like Yahuwah makes. This man tries to bribe you with your lust and desires to get you to do his will. This is how Satan rolls. Just like it said in Hebrews 13, it say the patriarchs, they heard the promises and they were persuaded of them and they embraced them. See, Yahuwah make a promise to you. This is what I have for you. And you be persuaded by that and you embrace that. Satan comes through and dangles in front of your face what you want. See, he already know that the son of Elohim, he know YAHUAH was to rule. So he's thinking that Yahushua's desire is to rule and that he wanted that power. When Yahushua's desire was to serve as Abba and Shamahin, not to rule, but to redeem his creation, not to rule, because I already got that. So you can't bribe me with what's already mine. You got to sit back and look at how Satan rolled. He bribes you with what you want. He couldn't bribe the master with what he want. Already got it. I humbled myself and became a man and died on the stake. I was already the son of Elohim. I already had rule and dominion. I already had power. What I needed to get it from you for? This is why the book says you should renounce covetousness, which is idolatry. Now we can see why covetousness is idolatry. Because you are actually serving Hashatan. Because you're taking satisfaction in this murderer. You're taking the bribe. Something to guard. Luke 12 and 15. I'm going to tell you something, right? Because I was talking to Brother Trav about that earlier, man. Luke 12 and 13. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a businessman. I like to do business. You know we want to get paid, all that type of stuff, man. But don't get it twisted, though. Man, I don't care nothing about no money, man. You might hear me say this, that, and the third. I really don't care. It's not that serious to me. I've been poor my entire life, so it doesn't mean nothing to me. You can't come around and throw something in my face and get me to sell out for something that I don't really care about. Yeah, we want nice things. You want to be able to do certain things for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your people as a whole, but you're not motivated by that money. See, a lot of people are motivated. That's why the book say the love of money is the root of all evil, because you will do anything to get it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people misquote that and say money is the root of all. Money is not. It's the love of it. Because now that has become your God. And this is how Satan is able to get you, because you're going to take the bribe. That's how he got Balaam. That's why I say the love of money is the root of all evil. How you think Balaam got God? His love for money is what got him. What Judas got God? His love for money is what got him. That covetousness, that desire, that was the scribes and Pharisees' problem. They loved the money. They were covetous. I want. That's why the master told you it's more blessed to give than to receive. Niggas won't take. Ain't gonna give nothing. Ain't think about giving nothing. Ain't thinking about expanding past nobody but themselves. Selfishness. Selfishness is the root of covetousness, which is the root of having satisfaction in a murderer, because you're going to go after what the murderer has to offer. This is why he said there's a thorn in the flesh. That's why we sit back looking at pulling out how he going to pull him out with his thorn. That's why he turn around and say the briars and thorn, I'm going to burn them up all together. That's what he said in 27. He said, who would set the briars and thorns against me in the battle? So you know we're going to look at who set the briars and thorns against him in the battle. Because we still holding Revelation 14 and 19, and we finna hit the Roman 1 after we read in Luke 12. Luke 12 and 13. And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother that he divide the inheritance with me. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of things which he possesses. That's why he say be content with the thing that you have. He say rather be content that you have food and raiment. He say therewith be content. See, a man's life don't consist of that. Sometimes we can sit back and it's funky. You know, I put that video in there when Jit went off on them by messing him with some felines. No matter what it is that you like to wear, that's what you like to wear. But the things that you like or the things you wear, the thing that you purchase, that shouldn't define who you is as a man or a woman. If you let exterior things define you as a man or a woman, you are a shallow individual. I know dudes that can be fresh to death and that stuff don't mean nothing. I'm talking about have quote unquote expensive labels on and that stuff don't mean none of them. That's just what they like to wear. But that's not what makes them up. They can easily turn around and wear something from Kmart or Walmart and still walk with that same air of confidence and the same core concept, trust and belief in themselves, knowing who they are. Because they know I'm not defined by what I have on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not defined by what shoes I wear or what car I drive. We've allowed people in the world to have that concept of who you are based on what you have or even where you work at or how much money you make. We allow people to dictate how we view ourselves based on that. See, when you don't take heed and beware of covetousness, you end up becoming an idolatry because you'll take the ransom. You'll go after the murderer. Something to be cognizant and aware of. Romans chapter 1 verse 20. Thank y'all for the word. Thank y'all for the word. Hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. And even as they did, this is Romans 1:28. And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, full of murder, because you Satan's seed. Say, if you hate your brother in your heart without cause, you the same as a murderer. Because Cain had no reason to hate Abel. He was a murderer. Dang. God. Ain't this about a dirty dog? Man, this phone be tripping, man. Golly. Hold on, man. This phone be tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? And these niggas be standing outside all night long to spend money on this stuff. That's what I don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
What was that?
Man, this phone be tripping, bro.
Do you restart it every now and then? Our phones, you gotta restart it at least like once every 2 weeks. Maybe even once a week.
I have restarted it recently. It just like didn't want to dial out, just like killed the whole call. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's what I do every time we do something like that.
yeah, I just cut it off just now.
Yeah.
I just had to do that there. Like, this nigga just gonna do what he want to do. That's not what we pay you for, sir. That's not what we pay you for.
Welcome.
It is not in the job description.
You are the only participant in the conference.
And they done got off the call because of that. Yeah, the phone was tripping, man. Hold on. Everybody else got off the call, screw it. So, we in Romans 1:20, 29. So we look at verse 30, right? It say, backbiters, haters of Elohim, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Elohim that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So that's taking us back to Numbers 35. Hold on. That's taking us back to Numbers chapter 35. Bang! Hold on, that thing just ended the call on them. Hello?
Yep.
Oh, hold on. This phone tripping, man. Screw it. I ain't messing with the thing, baby. Well, we looking at that number 35 and 30 about don't take no satisfaction and no murder. So when we sit back and we see that when we take pleasure in sinners, we taking satisfaction in murderers because we taking pleasure in their bribes and the things that they had to offer. Let's get this Revelation 14 because we were looking at this great soul sword and this vineyard made of red wine. So now let's hit Revelation 14 and 14. I don't know what to say, man. Someone's just doing what they want to do. Hold on, let me call you right back. Okay, never mind. It just ended that call. Now let's see if we can try that again. Nope, we can't try that again. I'm just gonna leave that alone because it's starting to really agitate me now. So Revelation 14 and 14. Hold on, little muffin, where your phone at? Leah, bring me your mama phone. Unlock it for me, please. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud. Upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another Malachim came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice that sat on the cloud, to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on their rats, and their rats was reaped. And another Malachim came out of the temple which is in Shamahim, he also having a sharp sickle. And another Malachim came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, gather the clusters of the vine of the rats, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the Malachim thrust in his sickle into the rats, and gathered the vine of the rats, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Elohim. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse's bridle, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Well, there we go right there. He's saying that they sing unto her a vineyard of red wine. Well, they was singing, Malachim was singing unto the master, we got a vineyard full of red wine. It's time to spill some blood. Because we don't have no satisfaction in no murderers around here. Ain't got no satisfaction in no murderers around here. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw Shamahim open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of Elohim. And the armies which were in Shamahim followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth go a sharp sword, because he said a sore and great strong sword is going to punish this Leviathan. And with it he should smite the nation, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and tread the winepress and the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Elohim. He said he got to punish the crooked serpent. He shall slay the dragon that is in the sea, or the serpent that's in the sea. Swing over here to Revelation 17 and 9. Hold on one second, Troy. I'm going to call you right back.
There are 2 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself.
All right, y'all. The phone was tripping. Y'all hold on one second. All right. Well, I just looked at Revelation 14 and Revelation 19, and we sat back and see how he would tread the wrath of that wine press. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we hit the fourth, as he says, sing ye to the vineyard full of red wine. Those that were singing to him about the vineyard of red wine was the Malachim crying out to him to put his sickle into the earth and reap, to tread the wine press of the wrath of the Almighty Elohim. We finished that Romans chapter 1 when he say not only do they do all of those wicked things, but they take pleasure in them that do them. Which means you take satisfaction in the murder. You take the bribes of murderers. Because he said that was one of the things that make you not convenient as being a murderer. If your father's the devil and he was a murderer, he that commits sin is of the devil. For this cause the Son of Elohim was manifested to destroy the works of the devil. If we take the bribe of a murderer, then we are murderers. Because sinners seek to kill the souls of the righteous, just like their father Hashatan, making them murderers. Ain't no way around that. Hold on. All right, that dropped on you. All right, ain't no way around that. It makes you a murderer. So you have to really sit back and look. When you sit back and look at it in Proverbs, he say, if sinners entice thee, my son, consent thou not. The same way that the serpent enticed Eve to kill her. They're seeking to kill you. They're seeking to set you up for death. They are murderers. And there's no way around that. That's what the book says. It's not my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? When you in the street and you know it's killers in your neighborhood, you walk light. From the Marina plan.
No, these colors.
You know what I'm saying? You walk light.
Marina plus, right? Yeah. You see me?
You walk light when you round killers. Because you got to watch them. You got to walk light when you round sinners. You got to watch them. And you got to realize, don't take no kofar in them. Don't take their ransom and their bribes or the things that they're going to entice you with to consent to your own death. It's a lot of people that consented to their own murder by fooling with people that they shouldn't have fooled with. Don't be one of those people. We just finished that Revelation 19. Let's finish it Matthew 25. Let me finish it Matthew 25. Clean it all up. Get ready to call it a night. So we read verse 41, but I'm going to read it again. And then we'll read verse 46 and move on. Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his malachim. And ye shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous unto life eternal. That was verse 46 that I read. I just went straight to it. So that's what we need to understand. Don't take no satisfaction. Come back to number 35, because I ain't finished it all the way out. Don't take no satisfaction in no murderer now. I mean, you can't take satisfaction in the thing the devils have to offer, nor his children. 35 and 30 yet again. Numbers. And we come back to Isaiah 27. Whoso kill any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, but one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. That's why the book say if you call the righteous to go astray, you'll fall in your own debt. I'm going to kill you, you're a murderer. Moreover, you shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And you shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that you should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. You shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for the blood it defiled the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. I, YAHUAH, dwell among the children of YAHUAH. This man say when you shed blood, this blood got to be shed by the man who shed it. He said the blood is shed therein, but the blood of him that shed it. Somebody got to shed that blood to make it right, or the land is defiled. This is one of the reasons why he put Adam out of the garden. Blood been shed here. Y'all got to get up out of here. This land has been defiled. You know what I'm saying? It's been defiled. The only reason why he could turn back around, Satan done shed blood in here. He had to go ahead and kill Adam, because this blood got to be shed too. I got to kill Satan too. That's why he cursed him. Because you shed blood in here, Hashatan, when you killed them. So I got to curse you to turn around and shed your blood. That's the only way to make it right. That's the only way to make it right. That is the only way to make it right. That's how YAHUAH operate. That's where the I for and I 2 for 2 come from. I got to do something. I got to make that right. I got to make that equal. Come on back to Isaiah 27, man. We look at how he say, sing ye unto the vineyard. But when we look at verse 3 in Isaiah 27, that man say, I, YAHUAH, do keep it. And I will water it at every moment. Lest any hurt it, I will keep it night and day. We don't deal with that one there. That's something else. I ain't going to try to get into that right now. But verse 4 is what we want. Fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I would go through them. I would burn them together. Well, we got to sit back and look at who would set the briars and thorns against him in the battle. But now we need to sit back and look at thorns. So let's look at Hebrew chapter 6, verse 8. And after Hebrew chapter 6, I think it's about Psalm 21. It might be Psalm 4 that I want. But we'll look and see. And then 2 Samuel chapter 23. What you talking about, little boy? Little boy? Little tubby little boy? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, put it down.
Yes, sir. Hebrews 6 and 7. For the earth which drink in the rain that come oft upon it and bring forth herbs meet for them by whom it is dressed receive blessing from Elohim. But that which bear thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, who endeth to be burned. When we turn around, we look at who was a thorn and a briar. Esau, Saul, Rehoboam. These men were rejected. This is why we looked at that thorn earlier with Judas. This man was rejected. That's why he say when you don't like to retain Elohim in your knowledge, you reject it. And you reject it because you desire the wages of unrighteousness. You want to obtain riches by a way which is not right. You want the desires of your heart, but you don't want to get them according to the word of YAHUAH Elohim. Ain't no righteousness in that. Come on around here with that word I mentioned. Look at Psalm 4. Let me see if Psalm 4 what I want. If it ain't Psalm 4, it might be Psalm 20. I heard that. Psalm 4. Let me see what it is. No, that ain't what it is. Let's look at Psalm 20. That ain't what I want either. Give me a second, man. Come on, go and get that 2 Samuel 23 while I'm recalling the Psalms. Go to 2 Samuel 23 and 6. 2 Samuel 23 and 6. 2 Samuel 23 and 6. You don't want to be no thorn now. That's ugly. Second Samuel 23 and 6. As he said, he's going to take them thorns, he going to burn them. He going to burn them. I don't think none of y'all trying to get burned. Anybody trying to get burned? I don't think so. But as the sons of Belial, or the sons of the murderer, because it's worthless, shall be as thorns thrust away because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron and the staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned in the same place. He say, well, fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in the battle? I will go through them and burn them together. Revelation 17. This is why it's not wise to take satisfaction in the murder. Revelation 17 and 1. Praise YAHUAH for the word. 17 and 1 of the book of Revelation. And there came one of the 7 Malachim, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come thither, I will show you thee the judgment of the great whore, that sit upon many waters. Remember, because he said he would slay the dragon that is in the sea, with whom the kings of the Arats have committed fornication. The inhabitants of the Arats have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. She carried away in the Ruach into the wilderness. So he carried me away in the Ruach into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, abominations of the Arats. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the Kadeshim, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the Malachim said unto me, wherefore dost thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carry her, which have both 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, let's drop on down right here. See, when you sit back and you look at everybody's drunk, the wrath of her fornications, and it says in Revelation 18 how everybody had taken part of her delicacies, and she had made the merchants of the earth rich, and the kings of the earth rich. They took the bribe. This is why the beast is saying you will not be able to buy and sell without the mark or the number of his name, because you will take the ransom and bribe by having satisfaction or kofar in a murderer. Don't take the bribe. Don't take the bribe. Follow what your master did when he came with the same bribe and he turned it down. Don't take the bribe. But just don't look at it as coming from the beast on not taking the bribe. Don't take the bribe of sinners. And it's bigger than just not working on Shabbat. Sinners try to bribe you to follow after unrighteousness all the time. Satan comes to try to bribe you with the things that you like. The things that you desire. no matter what it is, to entice you to go against the word. Yahuwah does not do that. Yahuwah does not wave his promises in your face and say, come get him. He tell you what it is. It's on you if you want it. Because he sit back and look at it. Yahuwah's promises is only going to touch the hearts of the righteous. So you have to have a desire for righteousness to even be persuaded to embrace it. See, when you sit back and you look at how Satan comes to bribe you with the desires of the flesh. Yahuwah comes to try to persuade you with the things of the Ruach, things that are eternal. Major difference. Major difference. So when you got to sit back and you know the difference between Yahuwah and Hashatan, because Yahuwah coming with things of the Ruach and Hashatan coming with the things of the flesh. So if something is coming you and it's touching your flesh, then you know that's not Yahuwah. Yahuwah don't operate like that. Don't spit on the floor. That is disgusting. Verse 11, what it is? Verse 13. Verse 12. Verse 12 of the same chapter of Revelation that we're currently in. The 17th chapter. And the 10 horns which thou saw are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is master of masters, maliks of maliks, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou saw where the horse sit are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Elohim hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Elohim should be fulfilled. So he say, fury is not in me. You sit back and see, when you sit back and you look at burning up this woman. Hold on, no. When you turn around and you look at it, the fury wasn't in Yahuwah. He put the fury in man to do it. And then he turned around and sit back and say, who would set these briars and thorns against me in battle? I'll go through them and burn them together. Well, we know in Isaiah 66, we sit back and we see who caused these people to come to battle against the man. The dragon and the beast. Let's look at Revelation 19 by verse 20. Revelation 19 verse 20. Make it 19 and 18. Make it 19 and 17. You all right, twin? What's wrong? Come here, twin. You got something in your eye? Let me see. Okay. And I saw a Malachim standing in the sun. And he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of Shamahim, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Elohim, that you may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the Arats and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So now we see it's the beast that gathered all these people up, these briars and thorns against him in battle. He said, I'm going to go through them and burn them together. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, and that wrought miracles before him, and them which deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. So now we see how he would go through them and burn them together. Because he said, who would set the briars and thorns against me? I would go through them and burn them together. So when we sit back and we see, now we see why Revelation 19 say he burned the beast and the false prophet together, because Yahuwah already told you about it. Yahuwah told you that the beast and the false prophet would be the ones to cause these briars and thorns to rise up. He said, fury wasn't in me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in me. He said, who is this that's going to call these wicked people to come up against them battle? I'm going to burn them together in the same place. So I'm going to burn them together. I'm going to go through and I'm going to burn them. So you already know what the end going to be of their children and all those that follow them. Let's look at Revelation 14 and 12 and see what their end going to be. 14 and 9, I should say. Don't have no satisfaction in no murderer. And after that, though, John 5:39, and we call it a night. See, I ain't start with John 5:39 tonight. That's why we'll end with it. I'll make it 6 though. And I saw another Malachim fly in the midst of Shamahim, and having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell in their rats, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear Elohim and give esteem to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made Shamahim and their rats in the sea, and the fountains of waters. And there followed another Malachim, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all the nations of drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And a third Malachim followed him, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Kadesh Malachim and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the Kadeshim. Here are they that keep the commandments of Elohim and the Amunah of YAHUAH. And that's why the law tell you not to have no satisfaction or no murder. Don't have no kofar, no murder. Don't go for the bribe or the ransom or the murderer. None. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's why he said, here's the patience of the Kadeshim. A lot of people don't have that patience to wait on Yahuwah, like we read in Psalm 37. Don't fret yourself because of evildoers. Wait on Yah. John 5:39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. Hallelujah for YAHUAH in the word. Y'all understood all this evening? Well, praise you. Praise you, Lord.